Hey guys, Richard of Room here, doing my latest review. This is for the finale of the Star Wars New Jedi Order. That is the book 19, The Unifying Force. So before I start, spoilers for everything up to this point, because I know what follows is Legacy of the Force. Darkness trilogy as well, but I've looked it up, I'm not bothered about that one. But yeah, Legacy of the Force, then Fate of the Jedi, and then there's a couple of small ones, Millennium Falcon and Crucible. No idea what happens to them, except I've got Legacy and Millennium Falcon, but not Fate of the Jedi either. See, I've heard some things about Legacy of Force, and although I've got new copies to, which look quite nice on the shelf, like this one, if I don't like it, I doubt I'm going to read the series after. But if what I've heard is true, then we'll see. But yeah, so spoilers up to this one only, and then Disney and Lucas Star Wars films and TV shows as well, just as a sort of warnings here. What the hell? Bo-Katan, Pop Fungo, Doctor Strange, as I've watched Doctor Strange 2 a couple weeks ago, which is great. Bongo Perdita, Pop Fungo, and Pop Leo. Yeah, Pokemon. Yeah, a bit it's night time, I've got blinds down, there's this light reflecting from above, so don't want to like blur this out too much. And Johnny Bravo, so why not? Okay, so on to this. Yes, it'll be quite a lengthy review, so probably at like Vector Prime type length I did, which was like 20, even though that was my first ever vid, so that's why it was longer than it should have been. So this should hopefully be a bit short, but as much to discuss. Yeah, this is book 19, and I'll probably do another video like my thoughts of the entire series. Actually, I will. Yes, this is just book 19. Bit of mention of previous ones leading up to it, but really, it's all about this one. So yeah, so let's get started then. So, I say, loved it. Perfect ending to the New Jedi Order trilogy. 19 series. God, what a G would that have been? I don't know if there is. But yeah, I still maintain it should have been 20, because Star by Star is 600 pages. Why that wasn't split into two, I'll never know. And 19, much like Legacy of Forces, 9 just feels like a really strange number. But then again, I read about this, rewrites, scrapped projects, so imagine it was never planned to be 19, maybe just ended that way. But yeah, so the thing that bothered me at the previous book, Final Prophecy, is that we didn't get the answers. The one of the Yuuzhan Vong that was on the planet found out the truth and then died. We didn't hear anything about what that truth was, and it really bugged me. It's why I gave on my Goodreads that book a 4 out of 5, because I absolutely loved it. It's not like other week ones where I gave 4. It was genuine. It was a 5 out of 5 worthy, but what it was all leading to was that who are the Yuuzhan Vong? What's their connection? With the lack of connection to the Force? Why is that planet important, so that Shinra was hiding its existence? And we didn't find out, but we're doing this. I even made a note of it actually. Page 171. Basically, the Yuuzhan Vong were stripped of the Force. So Yun Yuzta, I think it is, basically the planet they've remade Coruscant in the image of, that is their home planet, which was effectively lost, and effectively before that planet died, it created a new one, which is of course the one from, what the hell, on the Rogue Planet. Apparently this was actually written alongside the NJO to tie into it, so that actually makes a bit more sense. But yeah, Zonima Sekot was basically effectively like the child of their homeworld, and yeah, they of course went to that planet, fought off an invasion. I think it was an invasion, and then if they used what they got to make really vicious weapons. It basically became a warmongering race. They wouldn't stop with the violence. It was just a cycle, went over and over and over, and the planet punished them by stripping them of the Force. And that's absolutely amazing. And it's what I thought. There was obviously all these fears about the Yuuzhan Vong. Why they're not connected is, like Virgil was saying to Jason, perhaps the Jedi are just misinterpreting the Force. They're like they've not got the full command of it, like they believe, or they don't understand the Force fully. No, it wasn't like that. I mean, yeah, there's obviously secrets about the Jedi, the Force that the Jedi and the Sith, Dark Jedi, will probably never learn. But that was it. It wasn't through them misreading the Force or anything. Yeah, Jason's got a different view on things slightly from his experience, but it's more of an appreciation for life. Yeah, these everyone was stripped of it because basically punishment for their warmongering, and it's a great idea, to be honest, because yeah, the planet is so full of like life energy, Force, and for them to really be that offended, because yeah, these Vong were originally a peaceful race, and then they just turned to like mass slaughter. And yeah, it reminds me a bit of Watership Down. Spoiler for the book Watership Down. I'm just going to give the basics of that book. I'm sure someone's read it, seen the film, but basically in the Rabbit, like tales they tell each other. In the beginning, there was like the sun god and one rabbit, and the rabbits were just out of control, ate everything, mass produced. The leader would not listen to like the god telling them to stop, rein it in, stop what you're doing, or there'll be, punishment. He refused to listen, and there was punishment. He basically created new animals just to kill the rabbits. Gave the rabbits a chance that they can run, but ultimately, punishment for their bad behaviour led to like predators they never faced before. And it's kind of the same thing here. Yuuzhan Vong did terrible things and paid for it, and it's a great idea. And it just shows how important Son of Sekot was and why that 3-book story arc was worth it. And it, it makes perfect sense. So, they've Anakin began to understand them a different way due to like this, this what he powered his lightsaber up with. But ultimately, and that makes perfect sense. And in the end, effectively, Yuuzhan Vong paid big time. And they just wouldn't stop. Even after they lost their connection to the Force, they still continued what they were doing. And this is really where it all comes to a head, though. The Galactic Alliance realise they need Coruscant back, and they could just basically start from there. Obviously, Coruscant may not be livable with what the Yuuzhan Vong have done terraforming it, but they need it back to prove they can get the upper hand of the war. And it all pretty comes down to that. This big final battle with every Galactic Alliance force. The Yuuzhan Vong spread themselves a bit thin. Like they've still got forces on like multiple worlds, but ultimately it's like feint attack. They send forces to attack the Yuuzhan Vong at Mon Calamari, while then aiming for Coruscant with the rest of their fleet. The Yuuzhan Vong abandon Mon Calamari and then realise Coruscant's in trouble, and the Galactic Alliance succeed. They land on the planet. They're able to stop them. And of course, the Yuuzhan Vong, like all empires that crash down, it's when their own citizens turn on them, in which case the shamed ones, they finally revolt. Mass death everywhere. The warriors, then of course the Galactic Alliance troops are able to mop up the warriors. The shamed ones, of course, fight besides the Jedi and the troops, and it's pretty amazing. And basically by the end, Luke, Jason, and Jaina go to the main throne room where Shinra is, and it's just absolutely superb. You just see how strong the Force is, like in a previous book when Ganna became this blur of unstoppable power, and how Anakin did the same thing but wasn't strong enough to control it fully. Luke does the same thing. It happens to Luke. He just completely gives into the Force, and he literally attacking, clearing the way through every troop. Jason sees him as having his lightsaber having 10 or 20. It's just this unstoppable fighting machine. And they fight their way through. Jaina feels a bit unused in there, to be honest. They realise that Shinra may be the Supreme Overlord, but it seems that his familiar, what's his name? Henri. Let me have a look in here. His name is. Okay, it does not say in the beginning bit, but Omni, that's it. Yeah, he realizes Omni is the real power behind it. Goes after him, gets injured, and Omni basically starts going on this rant about how he's gonna, he is the real power. He's now gonna sacrifice Jaina as he always wanted to, and gain complete favour with the gods, and then just take complete control. Jason then goes off to help her, and Luke takes down the Supreme Overlord. It's pretty awesome. He's extremely powerful. He takes out Shinra's new, really monstrous guards, and but Luke, like how Anakin couldn't hold on forever, Luke can't either. And Luke gets badly injured by Shinra. But seems similar to another film I've seen. He actually let Shinra stab him with his MP staff, and then of course when Shinra's guard is down, I would love to see this in film. He just a blur cuts Shinra's MP staff apart, and then basically crosses the lightsaber at Shinra's neck, and either shoves forward or like that. I think episode 3 when Anakin and Count Dooku beaten, and it was like that, and he just holds them in a sort of cross, and then Luke does that, or he just goes like that. Either way, Shinra's head falls off, and it's absolutely amazing. And Yuuzhan Vong are basically defeated at that moment. It's pretty much how Palpatine's death caused serious issues for the Empire, and it's the same with this. And Jason ends up taking down Omni. He fights him in a pure battle of force. Again, like Anakin, Jason becomes this being of pure force energy and wins. Omni just can't win. It's like, again, it shows how the good side is stronger than the dark side, and it's just great to read, well, to watch, to imagine, great to read, and it's just a perfect ending. Unlike Anakin, because Jason's become stronger, it doesn't kill him, and yeah, he survives. As Ganon didn't become like being a force, like energy in the same way. He just became this like unstoppable like fighting machine, and ended up killing himself when he knew what he had to do. And it's a sort of similar difference, yeah. Whereas Anakin, just at that age, seemingly wasn't strong enough to control what he was doing with the Force, or maybe he just knew he was never going to survive it and just gave himself in completely. But yeah, Jason lives, which is great, because I know Jason is like the major person in Legacy of the Force. So yeah, look forward to seeing how Jason goes. Same for when being that 10 years later, Luke's son Ben, what he gets up to. And it's just a great win. The Coruscant's liberated. They realise the planet's not exactly effed, but is going to not be habitable for years, decades, because it's the damage these Unvong have done is just terrible. But the world brain is still there. Jason works with it, so it doesn't it starts repairing Coruscant. And yeah, it's kind of like a good insult to like the warriors of these Unvong, who think like Nominor is like, do you feel happy knowing that part of us is still on your planet? Like, yeah, we'll live. And yeah, Nominor, Jesus, like over and over again, he just does everything to save himself and like switch sides. In the end, he loses. He basically dies on the ship with the ship that he's on that's dying. So thank God, he is just the worst. And yeah, it's great to see him. You don't see him die, but he's not going to live. And then it's later confirmed the Galactic Alliance troops have like round up all these Unvong. The shamed ones were basically sent to Zonimus Secot, which is exactly what I thought would happen. The ones that are willing to redeem themselves get to go there, and then their planet goes off into hyperspace again to go to the unknown regions. And all the warriors, the ones who weren't going to surrender, will get loaded into ships and shot into Coruscant's sun. It makes perfect sense, because what you these ones don't deserve like the peace that the shame ones did deserve. They didn't deserve to be treated like shit by their own society. They're born like the implants they were given just failed, so they're like rejected by their bodies, so they get like treated like the lowest of their kind. It's pretty terrible. And yes, it's nice that they get to leave, and because they obviously want to live in peace. And yeah, that's really it. So Constant's taken. Oh, and the death toll is estimated at 365 trillion. I thought reading these 100 trillion max, certainly tens of trillions, but it makes sense. I mean, if you don't look at all like the people that use Unvong sacrifice, the ones that they like enslaved or mutated, all the Starship fighters, that were killed. Yeah, all the a war that lasted 5 years. It sounds about right, to be honest. It's a pretty grim number, but yeah, looks like Unvong couldn't have kept that war going forever, because even they had limits on their troops. Which was just throwing force at the enemies would never have held it long term. It's the same with the New Republic Galactic Alliance. What were they gonna do? Just keep on like have every single person capable of like flying a ship or firing a gun and join the military? It just wouldn't have worked. But yeah, it's a horrible thought. But 365 trillion, it sounds right, to be honest. So yeah, so that's it. The Unvong are beaten. Luke is like, I doubt the most powerful Jedi now, becomes Grand Master of the Jedi Order. You still got the Advisory Council, which is half Jedi, half other people, which is great. Great idea. And you've got peace. And I know there are other books like Legacy of Force and Face of the Jedi, and then a couple others. But yeah, if the things I've heard about Legacy are true, I'm probably going to hate the books and wish they never got written. But to be honest, this could have been an ending to this. It's like the entire EU, because what better victory is there? An alien race that would have like killed every being alive, defeated, 365 trillion dead. You've won. The New Republic has been collapsed and was reformed into a better one. Peace has been made fully with the Empire, the Imperial Remnant. The Jedi have lost about half their numbers, which is about right, because in those dog creatures, these Unvong bred to the ones which Anakin stopped and sacrificed himself to do so. Yeah, it could have been much, much more than half. Jedi were killed by these Unvong as well as those dog creatures. Yeah, it's just a perfect ending to the entire thing. And what could get a bit any bigger than that? Other than what? Repeating yourself? That Disney trilogy? No, we'll see. I'm going to get there eventually, but There are plenty of prequel era books to read / Phantom Menace case reread, but otherwise Republic Commando, Outbound Flight, Rogue Planet, never read any of them. So yeah, it's going to be a fun experience. So doing all them first, and once that's all done, that's when I'm moving on to Legacy, and then after that, remaining OT books like Race Squadron. But yeah, so that's it. So ultimately, love this book. It's the perfect ending. I mean, it's not perfect. Perfect endings to the series, but yeah, the actual war's end was great. Yeah, nearly 530 pages. So only weakness I found this book is it. I mean, it took a bit of time to get going. You know, it opens with like Leia and Han receiving intelligence, and that bit and the other characters. It took a while. I'd say it took about 100 pages to get really good, which is like nearly a quarter of the book. But otherwise, yeah, loved it. Couldn't put it down, and I think it took me about 3-4 days reading some at work on lunch breaks and when I've got the time, and then at home as well. And yeah, I'm glad I got a new copy, because even though the set I bought for all 19 was all good enough condition, some were good, some were better than others. It's nice to have the finale brand new, although it arrived so late due to a like dodgy one I had to return. Could have been I could have missed some, but nah, it was worth it. And I've got Vector Prime, the first one as well. It's just nice to have like new prints as well. And yeah, charity shop the like older ones, I guess. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, thanks for enjoying my NJO journey. That's what I started this channel on, those books as well, and then everything else. So yeah, could do another one eventually. Maybe not for a while, probably want to script it a bit, but yeah, covering the whole series really. I'll like mention things I liked and disliked about each book, favourites to least favourites, etc. Yeah, I'll give you a teaser for when I eventually do that. In the favourites, Traitor is in there. Everyone loves the book Traitor. No, I post this in a forum or YouTube comments, so I'll mention it again. Favourite books for that: Vector Prime, that's the first one. Balance Point, which is a big Jason book. Edge of Victory 1 and 2, it's part 1, I think, part 1 and 2. It's like a big Anakin story. Star by Stars, it's pretty damn brutal. The big, huge, like middle-ish of the series point. Dark Journey, which is Jaina's one. Yeah, great book. Traitor, which is, again, Jason's great book. And also, the one that I thought, well, I never heard of the author, but Destiny's Way. It kind of follows up a lot of like the earlier plot threads, like Luke wanting a Jedi Council, putting it back together, public Jedi knighting ceremonies, etc. Again, I'll save this for later, but yeah, those are definitely my favourite ones, and of course, Unifying Force as well. But yeah, so that's it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my review of all 90, well, I did 18 videos because I combined 2 together. But yeah, that's all of the NGO, and then there'll be a final video eventually of like my thoughts of the whole series, likes, dislikes, etc. I'll link it all to Instagram as well. But that's it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and plenty more books along the way. Even though I've read a bunch last year, like Thrawn trilogy, I'm not going to re-review them. Maybe one day, but certainly not. But yeah, the Darth Maul Shadowhunter book is the first one, and yeah, much like NJO, I'm going to keep doing reviews of each Star Wars book as I get to them now. But yeah, so that's it now. Please, if you liked it, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.